Hello everyone, my name is Morpheus. Today I'm sitting with Mary Mooney. We're going to talk about her life and times. We're going to find out if she took the red pill or the blue pill. She's going to talk about loss and pain. So, come with me and enjoy the ride. Good morning, Mary. How are you?
I'm fine. It's a beautiful day. The sky is as blue as blue. The clouds are as white as white. And I've got a chauffeur here who thinks he's a cameraman.
And I'm a good stunt driver.
Yes, he is. And also, he always provides me with a good lunch.
Butch's Beach Burritos.
Yes.
Anyhow, today we want to talk about loss and pain. We're just out riding around West Michigan, heading up the coast. Got our Butch's Beach Burritos ready for later today. Let's just talk about the time Joe got stuck in the mud in our subdivision when they were building that lake.
Oh, that was a nightmare. That's probably one of the worst days of my life because he was up to his waist in mud, and the more he moved, the lower he'd sink, and trying to crawl out of that mud was terrible. He was cutting through the vacant lot between our court on Canterbury and his school, Meadowlark School. Meadowbrook School. And he spotted one of the workers and tossed a beer can in the mud. He went to collect the beer can because he had a beer can collection, which he inherited from his older brother, Mike. So he got stuck in the mud, and the more he tried to get out, the worse he got, the lower he got. So I ran, his friend that had been stuck with him got loose and came running to my house and told me Joe was in the mud. So I grabbed whatever I could. I couldn't find any planks of wood or anything, but I did find a banana boat sled. It belonged to Donna, I think, and I took it down with me, and I circled around the park to come in behind where he was at, where their digging was going on. And I tried to get near him. I had a couple pieces of wood, just little pieces about a foot long, 2 feet long. And I used those for stepping stones. But I kept the banana boat with me, and I pulled it behind. And I couldn't. The more he struggled, the deeper he went. And I said, so I took the banana boat and shoved it, put it toward him as far as I could get close to him. And I stretched it out and told him to climb out on it. He said, well, I can't. My boots are coming off. I said, leave your boots. Forget it. Crawl out anyhow. Crawl onto the banana boat. So he struggled for a while and finally got his feet out of the boots, but he's still deep in the mud. But he was able to get a hold of the banana boat and crawl out on it. And then he finally crawled over to me, and I carried him back the way I came from, the back way behind the steamroller.
Yeah, I know you're talking about the dredger.
Yeah. And I carried him across the lot. And as soon as we got onto our court, I sat down and cried. And the cops showed up. Finally, they showed I probably was in shock, and I could not function. I was so relieved that he was okay, but still my heart was going crazy with all the tension and worry of him sinking into the mud. And but it came out okay. But being the mean mommy that I am, the first thing I did when I got up out of bed when I started feeling okay, and I went downstairs and I threw out his beer can collection.
Evil mom.
That was the whole motive of his going to the mud where the men were digging, was because he spied a beer can that they threw out, and he wanted to be sure that he had that beer can with his collection, if it was something different than what he already had. So,
yeah, I remember you being traumatized. We were like, what's wrong with mom? What's wrong with super mom? She's, she's not sick. She was fine an hour ago.
yes, it was the trauma of thinking he may get smothered, because he kept sinking in farther and farther, almost like quicksand. But he came out okay, and he lost his beer can collection in the process. That's probably one of the scariest moments in my life.
Really? Okay. Wonder how well Joe remembers being stuck.
I'm sure he must remember, but I don't know if he remembers. I don't know. I wonder what he thought when I threw his beer can collection out.
Evil mom. He got rid of his Miss Frothing slosh.
Yeah,
beer can.
I take that back. I think that Mike had already given that one to his friend.
Steve Ott.
No.
Hauser.
No. The fellow whose father worked at the Robin Hood flour factory that blew up.
Oh, okay.
I forget what his name is. Michael remembered. And I think he gave, when his father died, his friend's father died, I think Mike gave him that old frothing slush.
To cheer him up, yeah.
Because he felt so bad for his friend.
Okay.
Yeah, that was quite an explosion.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know why it blew up.
It blew up because it was powder, and almost any powder will ignite. And they had a bad bearing on one of their milling machines, and it ignited that dust in the air, and it just exploded like a bomb.
It really did.
And I was sitting in algebra class, and what happened was it was like a nice sunny day, and it was like a shock wave.
Yeah.
I could hear it hit the windows and everything, and everybody just jumped up like, what was that? And we were like, 7-8 miles away?
Yeah.
And I know that we lost our neighbor, and I know that there was a big lawsuit because it was right on the edge of the Mississippi River, and they had Robin Hood flour, and it blew up and threw a bunch of bodies into the river, and the plant was right upstream from the lock at Dam 13, and what they wouldn't do is the divers wouldn't go down below, the recovery divers wouldn't go down below the dam to try to fetch them out, because the currents as well as the giant catfish that are down there will try to eat them. And they got out of the lawsuit of recovering the bodies because they showed video of a giant 6-7 foot catfish down there approaching them when they were down there before, with video of it. So
I didn't know that part.
yeah, I did. So
It's a historical